high, dog, I'm the best. Finna be this way till I EOS. Take it how you want, nigga, yeah, I'm a pro. Fuck around, I'll bust your lot while you're at Vizzo. I hate to be this way, but I live for the moment. Waking up every day, show me an opponent. Shanks on deck, hitting bitches with locks. So much pool, I can even start you from the box. You don't wanna pay rent, got me bent. Got lax on deck, your money was well spent. Vultures on the prowl, so don't try testing. Step 2 comes violent, first steps finessing. You a hold down man, suitcase this. My cell phone, I'm a charger, don't walk with a limp. Get it knocked off or missing, you gon' get it. Next time I see you ass, you gon' leave airlift. What's up, everybody? You already know, man, Kfrogtv back in the building. Y'all go ahead and do me that solid favor, hit that like and subscribe button, and make sure you hit the notification bell so you can see it first. I want to tell everybody welcome back to the channel, and for all my new subscribers, welcome to Kfrogtv. Everything we speak on over here is shit that I seen, witnessed, and went through while I was incarcerated down here in the state of Florida. Hopefully you can learn something through my experiences. For this video, I'm going to be telling y'all about a time when some inmates in the dorm ended up getting into an altercation. And when people get into it in prison, a lot of times it drags other people's into the drama, okay? It's basically like fishing. You know, when you go fishing, you put the bait on the top of the hook and you cast it out there, you feel me? So you're baiting the fish up. And then once they fall for the bait, you know, you reel them in. You're reeling them in now. That's what people do in prison a lot of times. And you find yourself getting in beef and fights and shit when it ain't got nothing to do with you, but people antagonize and people throw the bait out there until you hit it, hoping you'll hit it. And then once you fall for the bait, whether it's them disrespecting you, them bumping you in line, them stepping on your toes, no matter what it is, when you fall for it, they're gonna reel you in little by little, okay? Now for this situation, 2 inmates had gotten an argument and they caught the wall, you know? For those that don't know what that means that, you know, move the bunks out of the way if there's bunks on that wall, and, you know, they square off toe to toe and they grid. And the person who actually the story is based on wasn't even one of them 2 people right there. He was another person that was in the dorm that actually, you know, they dragged into the drama, okay? They have a thing in prison that's called, you know, base check, you know what I'm saying? And then that's when people talk out loud and they call the whole dorm out, all right? Happens often a lot, you know, you'll see people do it. And the reason that a lot of people do it, I feel like, is because it ain't like, oh, they put down on the whole dorm. That's what they in their mind, they feel like they man enough, you know, that they're calling everybody out, which I base checked before a couple times. But you already know the people that you're cool with, or the people that know you're not talking about them, they're not gonna say nothing. You feel me? So if you're in a dorm with 90 people, but you're straight with 65 of them, and you go to bait check in the dorm, out of the rest of the population that's in there, other than the 65 you're cool with, only half of that half is gonna think that you're talking about them. So then you're looking at like 5, 6 people that are insulted. You feel me? And that's why people base check. Just like in the rap game, when people drop diss tracks and they say something about all rappers these days, ain't a rapper out there yet better than, you think the people that are cool with them feel offended? No, because they feel like, oh, I know he ain't talking about me. We're cool. You see what I'm saying? That's why they're able to speak on something so big and say something so big and powerful, and then don't have that much beef with people because all the real people are on their side or are cool with them. So on this day, after the 2 dudes fought or whatever, I'm not even sure what they were bumping over, but after they fought, one of the dudes decided to base check. And he didn't just, you know, base check, but what he did is he would, like, as he was talking shit out loud, telling anybody who want to fight can get it. It don't matter who it is. I don't give a fuck where you from, who your dogs is, what gang you in, anybody. You know, then he started pointing, what, you want one? Oh, what, you want to fade? Oh, you want to head up? What about you, bro? What's up? You living like that? He started going down the line trying certain people, and I tell you what, boy, he picked the wrong one today. Now, I'm going to tell you a little bit about Brazil. This was the dude's name. Brazil was a tall, lanky ass dude, and he low-key knew martial arts. Every time you'd see him, he was like shadow boxing out there in the fucking rec yard, and he always had books on him that had something to do with some type of fighting style and all this stuff. He knew his shit a little bit. But Brazil never ever had to show, you know, that he knew how to fight. He never once had gotten an altercation before this. He stayed to himself. You know, he minded his business. So that, I guess, made him look vulnerable and weak to people that were in the dorm. So when this dude went to rapping to him and shit, Brazil didn't even hesitate. He looked over, he stood up, took his shirt off, and threw his set up. So that guy who was talking shit obviously wanted a fight, so he thought, man, this is nobody, bro. And I swear, dog, when him and Brazil went near each other, he tried to throw some shit like regular street fighting at Brazil, and Brazil like whoosh, whoosh, and fucking like started whooping him, like slammed him on the ground, got him in like an arm bar, kicked him in the face, like shit that you only see on TV, like the shit that you seen the one main dude in the Matrix, Keanu Reeves plays, how you seen him whooping ass. That's the type of shit that Brazil ended up doing. Now, it didn't stop there. Once he dropped this dude and laid that dude out, that dude who he laid out had homeboys. So, you know, they jumped up. Oh, hell no, hell no. You feel me? At the end of the day, they don't want to look pie. They don't want to look pussy. So they going to try him. You feel me? They going to feel like, oh, that's a lucky one. So another dude jumped up and tried to run up on Brazil. Brazil weaved that shit. Same thing. Started whooping him. Bing, 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 bing. Like counter hitting. I'm talking about like weave, block, kick him in his shit, throw the setup like he was. They couldn't mess with Brazil. You feel me? And after he did it to the first two people, like the first one who started the incident, and then that one's homeboy, two other dudes felt like, oh, we gonna jump him. That shit was nothing, bro. I'm talking about this shit looked like they was filming a movie, dog. Like it looked like this was a scene of a movie. Brazil whooped them same two dudes after that. He whooped 4 dudes. And then Brazil base checked the dorm. Straight up. And me, I was laughing. I was like I couldn't believe it. I'm like, see, they done bit off more than they can chew. Because you never know what somebody knows and what they're capable of. And when Brazil base checked the dorm, he did that shit in a respectful manner. He basically told everybody, I'm not with the shit. Okay? I'm not with the shit. I got a life sentence. I'm not here to fight. I'm not here to have problems. I'm not here to get into it with nobody. But if you come for me, I will give you what you're looking for. I just want to do my time and hopefully appeal my shit and go home. I'm not in here looking for problems, trying to fight every single day. But I know my shit. You feel me? And you guarantee everybody in the dorm was like this. Shook. He had the whole dorm shook. And then after that, they all respected him. But he didn't want that type of respect. He still went on with his same, you know, his same schedule, his same shit that he normally did. It ain't like he changed and carried himself different. He still was by himself on the rec yard shadowboxing. Still in the law library trying to get his time back. Still in the library getting different books and shit. He still was doing it how he was, but he had to show. He had to show like, I'm not the one to be fucked with. That way you never judge a book by the cover. Y'all know that saying, because you never know who you're going to get into it with. This dude here whooped 4 people's asses, bro, within like 5-minute period altogether. One, and then another one, and then 2 at the same time. Like, you feel me? And me, I was one of them people that was like, I already knew Brazil kind of knew something because I knew him a little bit. I knew his name was Brazil, you know, and he used to always talk about when he was on the streets and in his gym this and his gym that. So he knew a little something. And he just messed up and caught a charge and ended up getting fucking a life sentence behind it. You see? And after he whooped those same dudes, them dudes right there, man, they would get into it with other people and they never base checked again. Not one time did they go, oh, you want it? Oh, what about you, bro? What you want to head up? Them dudes learned their lesson, bro. Straight up. And when he got the dude in the arm bar, he broke the dude's arm. That dude there ended up getting lifted off the compound. I mean, not like wet up lifted, but at the same time, they did get him from around there. He got his arm broke. They had to send him to a different, you know what I'm saying, compound to fix his shit. You see? So he got one off the compound like that. You never know what someone's, you know, mindset is. You never know what they're planning, what their intentions are. If this person is trying to kill you or harm you or break something when you're just trying to fight them. And you think that he's weak because he's a nobody, he sticks to himself. When really, in all reality, them boys did that because they felt like he didn't have nobody. They knew he was a loner. He did that shit on his own. He was always by himself. He wasn't with people. He wasn't a loudmouth. He didn't want the center of the dorm. He didn't want the attention. And little did they know that he just was waiting to give it to someone. You feel me? He even said it when he was base checking. He said, I already knew this is prison. Down the line, I'm going to have to show what I'm capable of. I guess today was the day. And that was it, bro. Like, bitches like respect Brazil, which I said I already knew him a little bit before that, so I fought with him anyways. I already knew he was finna whoop someone's ass, but I didn't know he knew that shit that good, you know what I'm saying? I thought, you know, when people be over there shadow boxing and different shit like that, you know, it's easier doing that than it is against a moving target, you know? It's easier hitting a bag or your shadow on the wall, something that you know that's gonna move which way and stuff like that, than it is your opponent inside of a real deal fist fight, you know? So I'm thinking like, because I done seen plenty of people that know how to fight and shit that be out there doing all that shadow boxing and shit, and they get flipped. They get their ass whooped. So then in the end, it's like, you do all that shit for what? Just to try to prevent people from messing with you. You try to put off an image, a precaution where people are like, oh, nah, he knows his shit. And really, a lot of times they do know their shit, but they can't plan what their opponent is gonna do when the fight's on. So, you know, I've seen plenty of people get whooped, even though they knew how to bump. But Brazil, bro, was totally different. Straight up, like that boy put in that work. And he had the whole dorm like shook on everything. Like they didn't want no problems with him. And he didn't want the title of like the top dog in the dorm, or he didn't want the title of like, oh, I'll beat everybody's ass in here. You know, a lot of people will abuse their authority after that. When you whoop someone's ass like that, and it be people that are known for whooping ass, in all reality, you just made them look weak. And then you actually opened up a door to show everyone, them people really didn't know how to fight. It's just they whooped ass of people who didn't know how to fight even less than they did. You see what I'm saying? So it's like, you just pulled their card and showed everybody what happens when they go against someone that really knows how to fight, that really knows how to bump and thump and throw these motherfuckers. So they'll abuse the authority after that. After they whoop the big dogs or the dogs who ran that shit, now all of a sudden they'll start walking around with their chest out because they can, and then they'll start carrying themselves different in the dorm, putting down, extorting people. But Brazil didn't do that. He was just one of the people that wanted to be left alone, but he had to show them boys he knew his shit. And it was crazy because before I got transferred from this camp, I'd say probably like a year and a half later after this incident, I was still there for about a year and a half after I got a negative adjustment transfer. Brazil actually had, I'd say, 30 to maybe 40 inmates on the rec yard that paid him for martial arts classes. He literally had such a strong base, like a little movement going on, that he'd be out there standing in front of all of them and they'd all line up, look like they're doing aerobics and different shit like that. They knew he knew his shit. And he was gonna do that shit, you know what I'm saying? Like, he was trying to teach people, like, if you wanna learn, you know, you can learn, because it's not just helping you, it's helping me also, because I got people to train with. You feel me? But he didn't charge nobody stuff, but people gave him things, you get what I'm saying? Like, he everywhere he went to the chow hall, they give him 2 trays. You know what I'm saying? If he goes to the canteen window and he hits and his money ain't on there, there's people in line that are giving him canteen. And he didn't even ask for it. He was like a person that had manners. You know what I'm saying? He didn't carry himself like a bully. He was just a tall, lanky ass dude that he knew his shit. And he didn't try to stand out for that. But once you put on like that and you beat 4 people's ass in like 5 minutes, then of course, you know, you obviously know something. So your respect's gonna be given to you regardless. And I tell you what, I never ever again seen anybody ever try to argue with Brazil or try to, you know, rap to him or anything like that. Which is actually crazy, because in prison, a bitch will know you're in there for killing someone. They'll still start shit with you. A bitch will know you know how to fight. They'll still start shit with you. It ain't like the things you do scare people or the things you're known for scare people. There's always going to be someone in there that want to test that shit. They want to be known as the person that can whoop you and take you out, especially if you're the one that's whooping and taking out anybody that comes in your path. You feel me? But Brazil just had such a good heart that everybody fucked with him. That no one ever gave him an issue or nothing like that. He barely spoke English. Like, when he spoke, he had an accent. You feel me? But him putting on and whooping them people like that made it to where they respected him. And I remember, bro, after I seen that shit, anytime people would get ready to fight, and it'd always be against someone who didn't look like they knew they shit, or, you know what I'm saying, it'd be like a new dude or whatever that stays to himself. That right there fully opened my eyes to really never judge a book by its cover, because I would always look and wait for the underdog, the person who they think's gonna lose, the person who they're just picking on, messing with, bullying. I would always wait for that motherfucker to whoosh, whoosh, you feel me, and pull some shit out of his sleeve like Brazil did, and whoop their ass. And I used to laugh because there's a couple people in there that would do that. You know, they may have never fought a day in their life, but they've been practicing and training for this exact day. You know, so when they do find themselves in a situation like that, next thing you know, bitch, they prepared. They can't whoop everybody, but in their mind, it ain't to whoop everybody. In their mind, it's to protect and destroy whatever's in the way of them and it's trying to harm them. And, you know, so when I'd always see people get ready to grid, the same person who be getting bullied and shit, I'd just be waiting. Because I know I've seen it before. A person who they didn't think was bumping, pull some shit out of his sleeve and get right and put them boys, knock them boys out, fucking break their arm, all types of stuff. You know, now, I've also, like I said, seen people who did do the little training shit get whooped as well. You feel me? Because they probably was just using that shit as a precaution to scare people off, not to mess with them. And they really didn't know physical contact as much as shadow boxing or whatever. You feel me? But straight up, I felt like doing this video right here. Shout out to Brazil. I don't even know what happened to him. I don't know if he's giving his time back or what it is, but he was in the law library trying to get that shit back when I was locked up with him. And the moral of the story is never judge a book by its cover, I'm telling you. Because that boy had the whole dorm shook afterwards. Them boys highly respected him. And whether you want to or not, you might find yourself in them type of situations when you're incarcerated. But that's all I got for y'all today, man. I'm gonna wrap this one on up. I appreciate y'all watching. Y'all don't forget, man, I got a gaming channel, KFROG Gaming. If y'all wanna come over there and vibe, I'll be on PS5, and then I got like a real raw ass PC now. I'll be over there. Y'all come join, play with us and everything. You feel me? Nothing but good vibes. But I'm gonna wrap this one on up. I appreciate y'all watching. And like I always say, keep them rats, snakes, clowns, and chomos out your circle. And until next time, this is Frog.